Welcome to Dimension 119, a dimension.
All right, so I guess no intro today because things are wonky, and when I hit intro, we do the Curse of Strahd intro, and this is not Curse of Strahd. Welcome back to Dimension 119, everyone, where we're on brand, screwing stuff up right away, and starting an hour late. Thanks, Nate.
For no
Just kidding, it's not
reason.
Nate's fault. Our normal Wednesday night DM decided to ditch us for RuneScape tonight. He might play some bingo with some old people, but, we'll see. We're going to attempt to finish off the trilogy of the Lesser Rings tonight. So I'm going to hand it over to Kevin so we can get started.
Thank you very much, everyone. Welcome. Looking forward to finishing this one shot that we've had going. Thanks to plenty of tavern shenanigans, it has certainly ran over to a 3-chapter prologue of hopefully the upcoming campaign that will be running in this setting using this module, the Adventures in Middle Earth module. So I'm going to recap because we want to jump into it. We want to get back into the action, and we want to, more importantly, get back into the story. So the Fellowship was formed when Orellion, concerned about his sisters, long-awaited non-return, left Rivendell. He went seeking for a guide, but he only knew of one guide that he could ask, a Dunedain ranger, one that grew up in Rivendell, the one that was called Estelle. He travelled to the tavern in Bree, where he was pointed to by fellow rangers he met on the road. There, he was lucky enough to run into Estelle and one of his other ranger companions, Halbarad. Halbarad was acting as a mentor to the young Estelle, who was new to the lands of his people. There, Estelle agreed to help Orellion. Halbarad, who was somewhat suspicious at first, agreed also to work with Orellion to help guide him to the land of Orellion, where Orellion knew that his sister was heading towards on her journey. They were overheard by a dwarf named Vili, who also wished to travel to the land of the elves, the ancient land where an elven city once stood before its destruction long ago. Vili's dwarven companions didn't wish to travel there, talking about elven sorcery and avoiding it at all costs. But Vili was desperate to find secrets that he had long sought. So the Fellowship was formed and they made their way south down the road. They travelled together before being attacked by some wargs. The giant wolves attacked in their packs, but were driven off by the group, killed and slaughtered one by one before the rest fled for their lives back into the wilderness, with tales of a Dunedain ranger on the road, one who bore a noble heritage and an even more famous sword, an enemy of the shadow he was, and they fled with tales of his coming. After this, they arrived at Tharbad, a once ancient city built by the Númenóreans long ago, now abandoned by most, the rivers bursting its banks and flooding the lower cities. The bridges that once spanned the river in decay, almost broken. There stood a single tavern where the Fellowship rested, but they were caught up by a fellow elf of Orellion's, who hid in the shadows for the most part, spotted only by Halbarad, who is always vigilant, always diligent. Challenged by Halbarad was the elf known as Maglor of the House Fëanor. No, not the son of Fëanor, but a retainer of the House of Fëanor. He was also of the elves that were once part of Ostinethel, the city in Orellion. After some backwards and forwards, Maglor used his voice, the power of his elven race that had been passed down to him from the elves that fled Valinor in the west long ago. Caused a bit of a scene, but he joined the fellowship and they fled Farbad, heading east across country towards the Misty Mountains to find the ancient ruined city of Ostinethel and hopefully news of Orellion's sister. The party arrived in Ostinethel, made their way through the ruined city, with being guided by Orellion, who had been here on a journey with his sister once before. There they reached a summit, a tower, now long crumbled and destroyed, much like the rest of the city, where they found Orellion's sister unconscious on the floor. As they entered the circle of the tower, though, they were assaulted by a spirit, a malevolent spirit that formed and attacked the group. They destroyed it or driven it off, and Orellion recovered his sister. But as soon as Orellion laid hands on his sister, he too fell into unconsciousness and slipped into a blackness. As this happened, spectres of elven warriors appeared around the group, with Orellion unconscious like his sister. It left only Vili, Estelle, now revealed as Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and Halbarad. Maglor, who was holding back with his bow, was there also. And that is where we are picking up the tale of our fellowship tonight. And hopefully we race towards its conclusion. And as we discover the truths of the past. He said the thing.
Roll credits. That's the stream, guys.
Good night, God bless. Safe journey home.
That's all we missed on the last episode was just Kevin saying truths of the past. That's the only reason we came tonight.
Yeah, we didn't have permission to roll credits before then.
No. Now we can officially roll credits, and the session is over. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the turn order. I believe we are at the top of the order. With Maglor of Linden. Maglor sees Iwill dragged out of the stone ring, where Orellion rushed up to her and placed his hands on her to try and heal her, inspect what has happened to his sister. She was breathing, alive, but in sort of dark stupor. Maglor, seeing this, someone who he cares about greatly, Maglor is going to rush up also, and seeing that Orellion also has slipped into this stupor, places a hand to shake and rouse both of them. But as he does so, the curse of darkness falls upon him, and he too collapses to his knees, felled by the same stupor as the other two. Vili, the dwarf, he was warned by have I transferred you across? Can you all see the map, by the way, before I carry on with Vili?
Yeah, it's a little fuzzy.
Oh, okay, no, that's fine. Vili, he was warned by his dwarven companions that there was elven sorcery in these ruins and that we should stay away. Seeing these elven specters form up seemingly out of where the terror walls were, he's going to make his way 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 25 to there. He's going to start making his way out of this ruin and trying to find some way to hide. But he also has an ulterior motive, as we know. He's trying to find a long lost stone art of door making. So he's going to try and find that. I will breathe in, but unconscious. Now, the Elven Spectres. Formed up of 4 soldiers. The Elven Spectres are going to move in on Aragorn and Halbarad. One here on Halbarad. Another one here on Halbarad. These coming down here on Aragorn, like this. And they are going to make some attacks against you after I have opened their character sheets.
I mean, 2 is enough to fight all 4 of these things, right?
Yeah, it's not like I'm down to like half HP.
And your healer just got taken out. And of course,
group,
you know how you heal.
Yeah, this group is going to go after Vili up here anyway. So, it's not like them all aggroing on you guys. I wouldn't do that on you.
Yeah, not all of them. Just 75% of them.
Yeah, so there's like 12 against 2. Effectively. Right.
Boy, I'm glad I'm not over there.
Yeah. Okay. So, these elven specters, you can tell that they are elven by their armor, their ears, although they have an undead look to them, and they move quickly and silently, covering the ground towards you. And they are going to make some attacks. There's going to be there's going to be 3 attacks on Halbarad using their elven. Oh dear, that's a bad start. Right. Yeah, that's gonna hit. That's on Halbarad. I can't remember if he was raging or not yet, so that will be halved anyway.
Hey, Kevin, I don't think we can
Are we
see
assuming
rolls.
I'm raging?
Ah, right. Okay, sorry.
So that one doesn't count. Whatever it was.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, that was a double crit.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't count.
It doesn't.
Let's get it out the way. Let's just get it out the way. Yeah, so you will take 15. That's 7 damage, Halbarad, because of your rage. And then another attack, 14 is going to miss, and another one, 16 is going to miss, as this group of elven specters rushing at you first, slashing with these mystical ghostly scimitars. Like I said, the first one catches you unawares, but you're able to bring your shield about and block the others. This group up here is going to attack Aragorn. A 21, unfortunately, for 8 slashing damage. Nathan.
Got it. Noted.
Okay. Another one. That's going to miss. And then 20 for 10 slashing damage. Oh, wow. This is doing a lot of
Ooh. I'm looking real rough now.
Oh no.
Okay.
Aragorn's looking pretty bad.
Okay. And then this group here going to attack Halberd also. Oh dear. Yeah, I did say this could be a quick session, I guess.
Can I uncanny dodge?
No, but that is halved anyway because you are raging. So that is 12, so that's a 6 damage on Halberd.
Hey, Kevin. When we said we needed a quick session, we weren't meaning just to kill us all like in the first 10 minutes.
Hey Kevin, question.
Yes.
I have inspiration. Am I able to give it to these guys? Because I feel like they need it.
Yes.
Okay. Guys, I got 2 inspiration. I will let you have it if you can make good use of it. Just tell me when.
So
You don't even know if we need it yet. We haven't tried to
I
do
feel like
anything.
I feel like you're gonna need it.
Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna need it. Kevin, on my
Yes.
character sheet, it says for my inspiration little box, it says total 3, and then it has 1 inspiration.
Okay, so that would mean you have 1 inspiration left, and you can as we are starting a new session, you do gain 1 inspiration, so you can all add an extra inspiration on.
Okay, that's interesting. I dig it.
So, yeah.
I don't know why you think yours says inspiration 1. Mine just has a weird little Y next to it.
Oh, well, no. Wait, if you go to, so mine has, so at the top left-hand corner of the character sheet, we have the little Y thing. But
Yeah.
if you go down to where your shadow exhaustion is, there's another inspiration box down there. At least it does on mine.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think I have added an inspiration.
Does Aragorn have a 20 inspiration? No, that's arrows. Never mind. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm just inspiring.
You're so inspiring, except you're about to die. So
Yep.
That. Inspirational death.
That's how you know it's a good death, if it's inspiring.
Yeah, I will let you come up with creative ways to use inspiration other than just re-rolling. Obviously, you can ask and describe as much as you wish. I may say no. Depends. Well, anyway, there's one more attack coming in at Halberad for
Go
7.
ahead.
So, well, for 3 slashing damage on Halberad.
All right.
Roll 20.
Yeah, that was some fun.
Yeah, roll 20 and me continue to have a very good relationship in Middle Earth. This is what I rolled. This is what I rolled like when I played with Carol's in Carol's game. Yeah. Okay. So that's the Elven Spectres. Orellion, we come to you. It's where my notes are going to come in. Can I zoom in, please? Okay. Orellion, you've just placed your hands on your sister to rouse her. Not arouse, no. Get your mind out the gutters, people. Just rouse her. And
Okay.
you felt yourself fall unconscious. As if opening your eyes from a sleep. The first thing you feel is the wind blowing on your face, in your hair. and you open your eyes. You stand on a terrace balcony overlooking the grand city you once grew up in. Bells chime across the city, carrying a musical melody on the air. Banners fly from every tower, spire, as strong, refreshing winds blow down from the misty mountains. As you stand there, taking in sights and sounds of the city that was long ago your home, you hear a familiar and soothing voice singing an equally familiar song from behind you. You turn to see, as the light curtains billow open, the source of the singing, with a small elven child there. That's you. Ray, why don't you tell us who's the person singing to you?
Wait, you said it was me?
So you're not the one singing,
Okay.
right? But the source of the person singing is singing to you as a
Mhm.
child, and you're standing on a terrace, and you turn around as the curtains, these light curtains, billow out because of the
Mhm.
wind. You see into the room, and in the room, you see a small child who you recognize as yourself, and somebody with you singing a song that you remember very vividly. Who is it that's singing?
I'd imagine it would be my mother, wouldn't it be?
You tell me. Is it your mother?
Yeah. I didn't know how open-ended this was supposed to be. But
It's yeah.
um Aurelian barely remembers anything about his mother after she made the journey east, I believe.
West.
But west, one of these directions.
Left or right? Yeah.
Weast.
He he doesn't remember her face. Looking at her, he knows this is definitely her, but he knows that song anywhere. Like it's
Um,
the song that for years when he would have trouble going to sleep, it'd be what he played in his mind. Even 4,000 years later, he still remembers that song down to the very note.
and it is as clear as the sound, um, as clear as the day you heard it. There is no missed notes. There are no, um, you know, offbeats. It's word for word perfect as you remember it. Um, can you see her face from where you're standing or not?
I'd say yes. It definitely takes him a moment. He stares at her and he's thinking this must be some kind of illusion. It's the voice of my mother, but this is a stranger. But as he starts looking at her longer, he starts to see the notes of himself in her and the notes of Iwiel. Like she has similar eyes to Iwiel, but her smile is very much his. And seeing the small notes really starts to paint a picture of what he thought he had forgotten.
And even though you struggle to remember what she looked like, this is exactly like your mother, and the recognition like jumps to your mind that this is perfect. This isn't a memory and you're filling in blanks. No, looking at your mother here is actually helping you fill in the blanks. It's not that you're filling in the blanks and the image is forming. No, the you seeing her face clearly right here, right now, are helping you remember in your own mind as you stand there what she looked like. Um, do you try to do anything at this time?
At first, he's just staring, like his eyes keep darting between his younger self and his mother, and remembering what he did before he woke up in this area, he's going to. I guess I'm asking you, how is this an illusion that he would recognize? Is this any kind of magic that he would have read about? Or is this something else, something new?
Um, give me a um, give me an intelligence save,
If I can find it on here, hold on.
or Yeah, give me an intelligence save.
Hold on, I'll
Because
just
we don't
use.
use intelligence saves all that
You
often.
really don't.
No, I always like trying to come up with ways to use intelligence saves.
18.
18. This is as it stands. As you're standing here, you are feeling the wind on your face, in your hair. It's cold. It's refreshing. It's brisk. Maybe again, it's stirring memories of the past. That you remember this wind exactly like this. The bells chiming across the city at a certain time throughout the day, the melody that it rang out, the clear notes of these bells. You you remember them. You know, there's maybe you're on a terrace balcony, and there might be flowers around, and the smells are hitting you, and again bringing back memories. All these things are very tangible to you. It's not like this is an illusion. These feel as real as could possibly be for you. What magic? None that you know of. Um, you could maybe give me a shadow law roll.
Let's see about that. No, that's real bad.
The art of the shadow, the magic that they use, it's beyond your knowledge at this moment. Um, who knows what they are possible of? But the image is a peaceful image to you. But as you stand there, taking in the sights of the sounds, um, suddenly, from behind you, over your shoulder, the melody of the bells is broken. A multitude of harsh horn calls sound out from across the city, breaking the music of the bells. You turn to see the city, your home ablaze, and an army of unnumbered multitudes outside the walls. From your position on the terrace, you can see the defenders on the walls fighting valiantly in their shining bright mail. This is contrasted harshly against Sauron's hordes of goblins, orcs, and trolls. I want you to make a shadow save, please.
It's been so long. What do I roll for that?
It's in your saves, so it's an actual save mechanic. So it'll be under wisdom, under your charisma save, I think.
I think it's corruption, right?
Corruption, yeah, corruption. Now it is a save against shadow. You may have a feature that helps with this.
Oh yeah, I might. Oh, there's my saving throws. Hold on, let me check real fast.
Halberad.
I'm just I'm proficient in corruption checks.
Oh, okay, yeah, Halberad, you will be next. Okay.
Oh, corruption right there.
Okay. You, as you turn and look out at this image of the city burning, what are your thoughts as you have failed your corruption save against Shadow?
Mm-hmm. Without even really meaning to, all these flashes that he had previously like stored inside himself that he had thought he didn't know anything about the destruction of Region, it comes back to him like as clear as the day that it happened, even events that are not happening yet. He just remembers the absolute destruction, the travesty that happens, and without even meaning to, he just goes still and starts to shake. And previously his thoughts were going to, seeing all of this, it was more of that pomp and arrogance he has where it's like, well, here is a great discovery that I'm going to have to squander because I'm looking for Iwiel. And there's not a single thought, anything like that. It's just terror.
you, as you look out, let me just bring my notes back up. So as you look out, and these thoughts and images and feelings, as much as anything, hit you like a hammer, like a blow of a dwarven mace. You can smell the smoke on the air. You can hear the cries of the defenders. You can hear the awful screams of Sauron's hordes outside the walls. You can probably hear the battering ram on the gate of the city. You can hear the screams of your people in the city, running in panic as homes are set ablaze by catapulted artillery into the city. You look down as a small company of elves catch your eye. Running up the broad street from the gate, you see a small company of elves. They're rushing to greet your mother, your sister, as well as some of your elder cousins. With them is the same child, you, holding hands with your sister. Make another intelligence save.
22.
22. You notice that the elves that are in this company that are rushing to greet you as a child and your family are all Sylvan, Sindar elves. So you have the High Elves, which are the Noldor, who are the ones that came from the west, from the Undying Lands. And then you have the Sindar elves, who are the ones that stayed behind. Mighty indeed, but certainly less so than the Noldor themselves. Your mother was a Sindar. Your father was a Noldor. So you are half and half, but not that that matters. You're still counted amongst the High Elves. And you see them as you stand on the terrace above. This company of elves meet your family and yourself as a child as they start quickly continuing on up the street towards up the hill. What would you do?
It's irrational. He knows it's irrational, but he sees the younger person who he can recognize as Iwiel, even when she's probably a teenager at this point. Like, even among the years of men, she's probably a teenager, which is very young for elves. And he's going to think maybe this is what will lead to Iwiel that I know. And he's going to chase after them.
Give me a perception check.
17?
As they start to flee up the broad street, you actually notice that Iwiel turns and looks back up at the terrace. And for a second, for a moment, it seems like you lock eyes and your gazes meet as if she sees you there. As she turns her head away and starts running up the street.
Has anyone else acknowledged me yet?
Nobody.
Okay, definitely. He was running already. He tries his best to run faster after them.
Okay.
Because he definitely notices that. That is very strange.
Yeah. We come to the present. Halbarad, you've just been surrounded by these elven spectres. What do you wish to do?
Question.
Yes.
Now, I just need to remember this from last session. Do I know Aragorn as Aragorn or Estelle?
Aragorn, most definitely.
Okay, yeah. So, first, Halbarad would kind of yell over to Aragorn and say, Aragorn, stand strong. Remember your basics. Keep your footing, and let's take them out. And he would kind of shift one square closer to him to kind of close any gap that would be in between them. In doing so, he would take 2 attacks at these specters. I would be. We're gonna go with the way I'm kind of picturing it. Picturing it in my mind, he's just gonna take like a big, almost baseball swing at the one to the right of him, and then as he kind of gets his footing, he's gonna thrust into the one to the left of him.
Okay.
It may not be the most efficient way to attack these specters, but that's kind of how I'm picturing the scene in his head. And he is wielding his. So this would be a raging longsword, right? Not the.
You are. This is your raging longsword.
Yeah, he has a raging longsword right now. Oh, come on. Oof. Yeah, so I guess he's just swinging wildly.
Now, I was gonna say, does the foe hammer have reckless attack?
I do have reckless attack.
It does. I don't know
But
if
it
you want.
says I can only. What's it? You can make your first attack on your turn. You can decide to attack recklessly. So because I have extra attack.
Yeah, you can do it on any attack you wish. It just means that because once you recklessly attack once, you might as well do it on all of them.
Gotcha.
And
right.
because you're going to be left vulnerable anyway. So.
Right. I mean, I don't think I could take it. I mean, I guess I could take a few of these attacks at advantage. Can I? Yeah. Okay. Can I use that kind of strain, that 9 and 11, as my first reckless attack? And I should have communicated this before.
Again, you're because you're still unfamiliar with everything. I'm more than happy to say retcon anything. So an 11's not going to hit. The first one, a 21 obviously would hit. Yeah. So.
Okay. So then that's 6 damage to the one on my left.
Oh wow, it's really sad. You rolled a 1 on that.
Yeah. And then he's just gonna posture up and get ready to deflect and take as many hits as he needs to. But trying to kind of, I guess maybe not mechanically, but thematically, just trying to get close to Aragorn and try his best to just keep him alive. Is kind of what his thought process is.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what he's got.
And it is Aragorn. It is your turn.
Okay, I'm looking over a couple of my abilities here.
I'm kind of glad that you two are at the bottom of the initiative order, just to give you a chance to look at some things.
Yeah, and they're still not ready.
I was ready.
Yeah, and you did it wrong apparently. Maybe I don't know.
I did do it wrong. Yeah.
Would any of these creatures fall under either foe of the enemy or
yeah,
the Hunter of Shadow?
Yeah.
I don't need that one. So with foe of the enemy, I should inflict +2 damage if I hit. So I guess if I was fighting with the shards of Narsil last time, so I'll be just swinging away with that.
Yeah.
If I can remember how to use this character sheet. There we go. 19 to hit for 14 damage, +2 would be 16 if it hits.
Let's just have a look. 3 + 4 + 2. I think think that is actually already added. I think I might have already added it in with the attack, with the extra +2. I mean,
It
which one are you
says
attacking?
D6 plus Dex plus Mod plus Magic. 5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2. Three for Dex.
Is it in there?
3 for Dex, 4 for Mod, and 2 for Magic. That's what it shows.
Yeah, 4 for Mod is going to be 2 for Dueling, 2 for Hunter of Shadow, and then the +2 magical damage from the sword itself.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, so I think I already factored it in.
Okay, so 14 damage on that. What? That's assuming a 19 hits.
Which one was you attacking? Sorry.
Probably whichever one has been damaged already.
Okay.
As I imagine, we're just trying to take, start pick these guys off, so that we're not getting just bombarded every time.
Yeah. Okay. 14. Yeah, so I think it's going to be this one down here. Yeah, as one of these elven warriors with that swing gets taken out.
Yes.
This one down, one of them down here. Let me just put this one back to 60. Yeah, okay. You do get another attack.
All right. 22 to hit for 14 more damage.
That is another hit. The same one as well, right?
Yes. If it's still up, I'm just going to keep hacking away at it.
Yeah. As another elven spectre gets taken out. No, there's only 2 left in this group here now. Anything else you wish to do?
Just kind of nod, while all this happening, nod at Halberd, however we say his name, since we said it a million different ways at different times. And just so that he sees that I've acknowledged what he said and taken it to heart, and kind of just get in one of the stances that he taught me to be a little more defensive and try to parry these attacks a little better, so that I'm not just being a pin cushion.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Maglor is somewhere. Maybe that's why. No. That is why. Okay. Vili is gonna disengage and keep running.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Hope you guys weren't expecting any help from Kai.
I mean, he's taking some specters with him, I guess.
That's true.
These specters are gonna run up here. Okay, elven specters. This group here is going to attack Halberd. Wow. A 23 to hit for 5 slashing damage, Halberd.
Oof.
Another one. For 3 slashing damage.
Jesus.
You know what, Kevin? I think you need to refresh. This is...
And another one for 4 slashing damage.
So what's that? So it's 4.
So that was 5, 3, and 4.
That's 9.
Ooh. That's not fun. I think the DM is OP and needs to be nerfed by the devs. Is kind of where I'm at right now.
Use your inspiration to do something.
Can I use my inspiration to say fuck one of those? I mean, that's the thing. They're not like bad hits. Is the thing. I feel like I should use my inspiration for when I'm doing my hitting.
Okay. I'll stop backseating considering I'm not even in this fight.
No,
yeah, go back to your dream. God.
I'm fine with backseating. If it's gonna help like people kind of get better grips to things, then that's fine.
I'm fine.
I'll take all the help. I'll take all the help I can get at this point.
This group here is gonna attack Halbarad also. There we go. An 8. An 18.
Yep.
For the 4 slashing damage.
Beats. All right.
Wait, isn't your AC 18?
Yep.
Okay, I forgot how AC works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was using Thaco when we first started, but I guess that's not how we're doing
it. Yeah, for another 4 slashing damage there. Now, on Aragorn. Fingers crossed here. For 6 slashing damage.
Jeez. I mean, I'm still holding on, but...
You mean I showed up for this shit?
I am...
Again, you can use inspiration.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, because it's that or be downed.
Okay, roll again. There you go.
Oh, thank God.
There's one more to come.
My inspiration is yours. Please use it.
I still have one more if I need it.
There you go. There you go. So.
This is the difference between Kevin and Derek. Derek would have laughed at us.
Yeah, well, Kevin knows he can't kill a main character in Lord of the Rings or the world will explode.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm sweating here. I'm sweating.
It's really going to mess up the flow.
Yeah, I'm also trying to tell a story, not kill you off. But I can't help if Roll20 loves me. Okay. And we are back to Orellion. Orellion, you run through the apartments that you knew as your home, down a spiral staircase, out onto the street where you've just seen your family and an elven company take off up the street. You look up the street and you can see them. Much further ahead, again, you see Iriel. She looks back over her shoulder, and again, you think that she's looking straight at you, but they carry on running. Do you give chase?
Absolutely. And I'm going to shout out her name as I'm running to see, like, first two could have been a coincidence. If she turns around when I'm yelling for her specifically, then something's going on.
She doesn't look back. As you are running, give me an athletics check. See if you can gain some ground on them.
Nope.
No. By this point, some of the masonry from the towers has crumbled from damage that catapults have sent into the city. You turn back just briefly, looking over your shoulder down the street, and you can see that it appears the gate has fallen. Defenders are pressing in, preventing the swarm of orcs, goblins, trolls from breaching the gate. It won't be long now till the city's breached. You hear the screams of the elves beginning to come out of their homes and fleeing upwards in a similar direction as yourself. the more catapults, rain, debris, all around you. I want you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
5.
A 5. You take 5 psychic damage as you are pelted by debris, small like objects that are about the size of a melon.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do I feel this happening, or is it more like is it more like emphasis on the psychic?
everything, everything feels, everything feels real to you in the dream. It's just your present time body won't be taking any of the physical damage. It will be psychic damage. The person in the past where you are at the moment, it feels like bludgeoning damage to you as you get hit by like 2 of these objects. And you even maybe get taken off your feet by one, and you land hard on your shoulder. What do you do?
He's gonna pull himself up, and I imagine this is kind of where that athletics check starts to come in, where he starts to lose ground. More panic just ensues over him because he had previously just thought this was an illusion. Like, not just an illusion, maybe some kind of advanced magic, but the thought that maybe he could die here and the fact that there is so much death surrounding him and kind of enclosing on him just starts to wash over him. And for the first time in his life, in his 4,000 years of life, he starts to realize, I could very well die here. But he has a moment of just of shock as that starts. Pretty overreaction to having taken 8 points of bludgeoning damage, but he finally manages to pull himself out of it and continue after Iwiel.
As you get to your feet, maybe you even like dust off some dirt, some blood from somewhere. Is it your blood? You look down at the debris that has just struck you. And so focused on Iwiel, your family, that when you was hit, you didn't realize at first. But what actually just hit you were the severed heads of fallen elven warriors that had been catapulted into the city. Some still have helms on. However, all of them have the visage of a terrified and stricken elven face. You maybe even know or recognize some of them. Perhaps not. Maybe you were too young. But you definitely recognize them as elves. Some wearing Sindar armor, some wearing Noldor armor. But all died in excruciating pain and agony as it's writ across their face. I want you to make another corruption save. You fail again.
Do I have to be marking this somewhere?
You failed the last one, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I take a point of shadow?
You take 7 temporary shadow at this moment in time. So on your character sheet, you should have a shadow box on your right hand side.
Yeah.
I think you have 3 at the moment.
Yeah, I marked that up to 10.
Yeah, so now you're on 10. And what is your wisdom score?
Total, it's 12.
12. Okay. So, yeah, when your temporary shadow gets to 12, you will take 1 permanent shadow point.
Good choice of words on the win.
Yeah, when. You get up and you press on though. Is there anything that you wish to do as you wish to continue to press on?
he's pretty tunnel vision right now, not just out of necessity of finding Iwiel, but because he doesn't know if he can take seeing any of this around him. Like, he's lived a long time. He's never really thought about what death would mean to him, and he certainly hasn't seen many elves die. So seeing all of this is a little too much for him.
As maybe panic sets in and this realization with it, you start pushing on, forging up the hill. Your breathing may be ragged. As we go to Halberad, it is your turn.
Halberd would see Aragorn struggling, and he would want to take an attack against the specters on his right hand side from how we're looking at it. Reckless attack, of course, at this point, because that's about as best as he can get.
Jeez.
Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does hit.
Oh, good. So that's a solid.
Do you wish to re-roll the first one?
I would for an inspiration, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh wait, would that be 23?
Yeah, 23 also.
Okay, yeah, for 7 damage. So that's a total of 19.
Okay.
Weird.
As you see another elven spectre here get destroyed, leaving one. The other one is ragged, almost torn apart. Still standing, if spectres stand, I guess. But it's still there.
Yeah, he would Halberd would also call to Aragorn and say, "Please, Aragorn, find somewhere safe. I can hold them off for a little bit at least. Just take a break. Get your breath."
As we go to Aragorn.
Oh man. I can't leave you here though, dude.
I can take a few hits, man.
Yeah, but
maybe.
Just
it depends on how he's rolling.
Just give both of you give me intelligence saves. Both of you.
Aragorn would never just leave you there though. I'd never leave anyone there, but 4.
Don't you have like the shards you can use the healing thing on?
It only affects him though, I think.
And like, I'm not asking you to leave either. I'm just saying you might need to step away for a second, do your healing stuff, and get back in here and save my ass.
Well, the thing is, our healer's taking a nap right now.
That lazy son of a bitch.
I mean, I don't know if I could attempt like some kind of medicine check to see if I could staunch some wounds or something, but as far as I know, I don't have any actual healing.
I have
stuff.
A proposition for Mr. Lore Master.
Yes.
Would it be possible? Now, I don't know if this would be worth it or not, but could I take a point of exhaustion to spend a hit die?
For yourself?
If need be.
For you to spend a hit dice?
Yeah.
You could spend inspiration to and take exhaustion to roll a hit dice.
So inspiration and exhaustion for a hit die?
Yeah.
Is that kind of the price of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay to do that.
All right. Just in case, because I feel like I'm going to get there maybe next turn. So I want to
did you roll an intelligence save, by the way?
Who, me? No.
Yeah. Halberad.
Yeah, that's a strong 9.
Okay. There, as you are cutting through these groups, there's less attacks coming your way. So obviously, the number of specters in each group is equal to the number of attacks you're taking.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. By the way, Aragorn has got a little heart on his token. Was you given some inspiration? I feel you probably was by Maglor.
Maybe. I don't remember. That was like
That
6
was like
months
3
ago.
months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's on there. So let me just have a look at Maglor of Linden. He has used 2 inspirations, and what warden? What warden person is he? He is.
I couldn't remember if somebody gave me a buff with that, or if that was something to do with these specters, because I put a chained heart on it, so
Yeah, but there isn't much choice, unfortunately. So, night vision, distraction, dauntless. I don't know. Don't know what warden he chose. Maybe it's this one. No, can't remember which one he chose. I think he probably chose like the Valabard type one, which means I think you can add it to your armor class or your damage rolls. Okay, well, Aragorn, it's your turn.
I think. Hmm, I think that the only choice I have, I mean, I kind of feel like it goes against um, who he is and what he would do, but I think, given where we're at right now, that I would disengage and try to get away and at least not go somewhere and hide and try to recover, but potentially come down here and see if I can help Orellion or Maglor.
Okay.
Call it a tactical retreat.
Is there anything you'd wish to try?
I'm probably going straight for Aurelion and just like shaking him, speaking to him, shaking him, trying to see what's going on. You know, maybe if he doesn't move, maybe like try to lift up his eyelids or something. Just like some kind of quick check to, one, make sure that he's actually alive, and 2, find out if there's anything in like at first glance that I can do, because we're needing some help here.
Okay, give me a shadow law roll. As you touch him and you try and wake him, you know that flash of Sauron's eye. You get hit almost by that as you feel that the shadow, something has done something to Orellion or Maglor, whichever one you're trying to rouse, and there's some sort of spell that's been cast upon them. Yeah, that's what you get.
Can he possibly get some items, whatever I use to do my scholarly healing, from me?
If he wants to.
I think that he's going to be more concerned with what he just felt and saw as he touched you. I imagine it's kind of like the whole Pippin scene and where he's not, you know, he's not stuck to you like rolling around on the floor, but it's that same kind of shock. Like he's kind of almost knocked backwards. And he'll be kind of searching his mind for anything that Halberad's taught him or anything that he's read or been taught by others, how to pull someone away from this. Maybe looking to see, I don't know if we saw them both touch the sister or not, but like checking to see if Aurelion's touching anything that might bring this connection. If there's any odd items that his hands are on or his legs stuck to or anything like that, to see if that's what's making that connection.
Give me a perception check. As far as you can see, no, but you know he's got his hand on Iwill's maybe like talk on her arm. Maybe it's that, but who knows? Doesn't seem relevant, but maybe. Was there anything else? Yeah, that's pretty much it at the moment. Maglor is dreaming of days of past. Vili is gonna disengage and keep running. We're trying to get away from these. Elven specters. They're not smart enough to disengage. Well, it's not that they're not smart, they're just in fact, yeah, this group's here is gonna move to go after these. So we'll get an opportunity attack, which will be reckless still.
I gotcha. I'm right here. Now I get anything over a 12. Does that do it? 12
yeah.
damage?
As they break away and head this way after Aragorn, you swipe at them and you destroy them. You destroy the last one that was there, taking it out of the fight. Completely. This group up here is going to attack you. Oh, I rolled it to GM. That was just a 7 though, so don't worry. 15. Oh, 22, unfortunately, because it's reckless.
Yep.
For 4 slashing damage. And then one more. A 19 for 3 slashing damage. And I probably would have moved down here. And then this group over on the left. 19 for 3. A crit for 6.
6 total?
Yeah. And 22 for 5.
Ouch.
Oh no. I can take a few more hits.
And I took a few more hits.
Like they only have a +5 to hit. Yeah,
Only a +5.
yeah, that it should be like
That's like
yeah,
comparable to us.
no. I mean,
The
yeah, but
problem
their armor
is
class is like 13, and yours is 18.
Yeah, but I mean, realistically, what it is we just aren't rolling.
the
Yeah.
problem is they have a +5 to hit, and Kevin rolling the dice, and
Yeah, that's
roll
true.
20
It's
loves Kevin.
it's a
Everything
it's a
loves Kevin.
multi-factor problem at the end
Yeah.
of the day.
It is a major problem. I
Kevin,
did
stop
not
being so lovable.
I did not take in consideration the fact that Roll20 loves me.
I feel like it's based off of how much time spent on Roll20.
Yeah.
You get different
Like,
perks.
That can't be true because we've been using Roll20 for what, over a year now, and
Yeah.
my rolls haven't gotten any better.
No, but I feel like Kevin has probably been on Roll20 way more often as far as the amount of hours spent.
yeah. I
You
am like
know,
probably 4 years into Roll20, so
he's he's like platinum tier on
Yeah, it's like
Roll20's time
working at a
card.
company. You don't get anything good until you've been there at least 3 years.
Yeah, he's got a gold watch on its way.
what you got to do, you got to watch YouTube videos on what perks to pick when you level up.
Mhm.
Right, so Orellion, back to Orellion. You running up the hill towards a tower where you saw your sister and family go into. You arrive at the base of the tower, following the trail of your past self. There, you see your mother and sister huddled around your younger self. The elven warriors, however, are engaged in deadly combat with two frightful foes in hooded black robes with their hoods drawn over. One of them is wielding a long, bright blade that shines like a flame out of the west. I want you to make a wisdom save.
15?
You succeed. The blade that you see being wielded, you've seen images of this in Rivendell. And you've also seen one of your fellowship companions wielding what's left of it. One of these black hooded figures is wielding Narsil and fighting these elven, the company of elven warriors that was accompanying your family to this tower. And you see these hooded warriors fighting frantically as the elven warriors are getting hits in, are sneaking past their defenses. You see one of them disengage, the one with the sword, and slip past you as you stand in the doorway. What do you do?
At this point in time, is this before Sauron was defeated? I guess it had to be, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is the one that's still the one that was that has Narsil still fighting?
No. That one is the one that slipped. I imagine you're standing. So if I use Aurelian, you would be standing in the doorway like this.
Mm-hmm.
And as you are watching this scene inside the tower, like the one with the blade, and you can't see any features. The ring wraiths.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a ring wraith holding Narsil, running past you and going outside to just some fallen elven citizens. As the other one is swinging frantically and wildly at the elven warriors. some of these elven warriors have already been cut down, seemingly by these two hooded and black robed figures.
Okay, I'm gonna roll to see which one of these I'm gonna focus on. 10 or below, I focus on the guy with the Narsil. Okay, 18. That is very fascinating, and I need to know more about it. But at the same time, his desire to know what's happening is outweighed by his family. So he is going to. I'll go ahead and can I shoot one of the figures that's fighting against the company with my bow?
You want to shoot one of the black robe figures?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Does a 10 hit?
10 does not hit.
That's about the only thing I can do at this point, right? So can I move to see if they have any features or if they are just ring rates?
Give me a perception check.
15?
Beneath their cowls of their hoods, you cannot see a thing.
Okay. Do they turn to acknowledge me as I shoot at them, or does it just whiz past them and they don't even notice?
It probably just whizzes past. If it noticed you at all, it didn't know. Again, you probably see where your sister was lying when you first got here in the present time. You see, like, you, and you've probably you're probably unconscious, maybe. I don't know. What, as a younger child, would you have been unconscious at this time?
Yes.
Seeing all this okay. And you see that your sister is cradling you, and your mother is being sort of really protective about you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you wish to do?
I think that's all I can do. I don't think I've got any other bonus. I don't have any bonus actions.
You could wake up and heal us.
Can I do that?
No.
Well,
The at least you're not rolling for shadow this time. That
Question.
is,
Remember
yes.
when we were talking about skill of the elder?
Yeah.
Are you willing to allow me to get the hunt score for the eye in exchange for hitting this thing? Like, pretty much swapping how it works. And feel free to say no because I've already said what I was doing.
No.
Yeah, I thought so. That's fair.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Halberdad.
Oof. Poof. So remember how we had that discussion about me taking a point of exhaustion and spending an inspiration to use a hit die?
Yeah.
Would that take my action?
As it would be sort of like a second wind, and that's a bonus action.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll go.
So I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Is my hit die a D6?
It's a D12.
D12. Beautiful.
So on your character sheet, where it says hit dice, the actual words hit dice, if you click it, it will roll your hit dice for you.
Oh, nice.
Hey, perfect.
And the max hit dice roll. That's nice.
That's what I needed. I mean, okay. I mean, I'm still not feeling great, but now, secondary question.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of debris around. How big is this debris?
Some of it could be like 3-4 feet by 3-4 feet. Some of it could be a little bit smaller. Maybe this one here is like and maybe this one as well, and maybe 5 feet wide.
Mm-hmm. So if I were to theoretically shift over here, right?
Yeah.
Would that kind of maybe negate some of the onslaught of attacks that I may get per round? Use the terrain to kind of help shield me a little bit.
If he was to get on top of it, I would say yes.
Mm.
Although you are taking an attack of opportunity from these.
Which are 3?
There's 4 of them left, so it would be 3
Oh,
attacks.
okay. Yeah, I don't think I could afford that amount of opportunity attacks. What if I shifted over here?
If you get to there, you don't take the attack of opportunity, but
Okay,
you're unable to get on here yet.
that's fine. That's fine. It's a work in progress.
Okay.
So yeah, he's so Halberd. I mean, he's obviously overwhelmed. He's going to. He sees maybe a long shot opportunity to maybe turn the battle in his favor a little bit.
Yep.
So he's going to kind of shift back and also trying to lead these vectors away from the rest of the party. So he's going to shift over here, and in doing so, he's going to make some more attacks. I don't. Can I get some guidance? I'm not used to playing barbarians. Is it a barbarian thing to do to just keep on with the reckless attacks here? Like, would that be the thing, or is that because I'm getting.
You're again. Don't think of it as a barbarian, as in you are a wild, savage.
Right.
Because
Yeah, I was thinking more mechanically.
yeah, because you're called slayers, so it's more you get battle lusted. You get
Mm-hmm.
if you're an intelligent fighter. I mean, you've already been calling out to Aragorn to take this stance. Remember your training. So I'd say
Mm-hmm.
you've got your battle wits about you. Um, so I'm happy for you to decide however you wish.
Um, I think Halbert is going to take a bit of his own advice. He's going to step back and kind of like just regain his footing, get into the proper fighting stance, and just make sure he's uh, instead of swinging a little more recklessly, he would be kind of picking and choosing his shots. Maybe pairing a little bit and going in, or just finding those little opportunities to squeeze in a good stab or blow. So
Yeah.
he's going to just do normal attacks.
Okay. Left or right?
So this one was going to be on the right, and then he's going to make his second one on the right as well. So 13 and a 15 to hit.
Both hit.
Beautiful.
Um,
So that's an amount of damage.
Some good 23 damage there too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Good.
you dispatch one of them, with one of them another one being severely wounded. So there's now only 3 here. Okay.
And real quick before we go off, so I did take my point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Does that affect just my saving throws and ability checks right now?
I don't think it's saving throws. I think it's just ability checks, like skill
Okay.
checks.
Okay. Beautiful.
Okay.
Yep.
Aragorn.
I'm gonna just at this point, since I don't see anything right away to help wake Orellion up, I'm probably going to search, just do a quick search and see if there's anything on his person that would help us help Halbarad and I get through this. That way we're not having enemies mess with us while we're trying to fix what's going on here.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to give me like an investigation check, if you're looking for something, and then you tell me what you want to find.
14.
Okay.
Just
What?
anything, whether it be something to help get me a little more health so that I can jump back in the fight. Something like I've seen him do magic. I've seen him do things that we're unable to do. Something that might be able to cast these specters back away from us, or knock them in get rid of a couple of them in one blow. Something, whether it be health, whether it be more firepower, whatever.
You do find like his med kit, I guess. His scholarly. Well, what do they look like, Ray?
It is absolutely just a little package that is already made up of healing components. And it's not as magical as you're expecting. You're probably thinking that it's going to be filled with mushrooms and magical looking flowers. It is absolutely just some bandages and some salves that you've seen the man folk using.
I imagine he kind of like this is all happening super fast. Like even the glossary glance to see if he could help, see if there was an item on Orellion to get him to snap out of this or whatever. So this is all happening very fast. But I imagine like for a second he looks past this box of healing stuff because it seems so mundane, and then it clicks in his mind like, yeah, I've seen them use this before.
Yeah.
And I guess if I still have time on my turn, I would make some type of attempt to use this and see if I can heal myself a bit so I can go help.
Give me a medicine check.
Okay. 19.
What is medicine off wisdom?
Medicine, yes.
Yeah, okay. Roll me 2d8 plus your wisdom.
All right, that would
11.
be 12 total.
12. Then you can regain 12 hit points.
All right.
Hey, Kevin, do I need to mark this down on my hands of healing?
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I'm helping.
Yay, I'm in double-digit HP again.
Yay.
You still have some movement left if you wish to use some movement.
I don't think I'm ready to engage with them again. But I don't feel that I have a way to help Orellion at the moment, so I'll probably just move back here where I can see Halbarad and what's going on and kind of get a line on the situation to see if I'm going to be able to be of any help.
Yeah. Okay. Good old Maglor and Villy. I will. The specters. Seeing you come back, these ones are going to move to come and attack you, Aragorn. They will provoke an opportunity attack. $13 damage. There we go.
Here we go.
As you destroy that one wounded one, wounding another, leaving just 2 in this group here now. They are still going to attack twice. Missing on the first one, missing on the second one against Aragorn. This group
Tides are
now
turning.
attacking Halbarad.
Don't say that.
It wasn't reckless, so an 8 is missing. And 19 is hitting for 4 damage.
That does hit, but that's okay. I could take a 4.
Was that the first attack from that group? Second attack from that group? 1, 2. Okay, one more attack from that group. A 9 to miss.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Maybe there's chance after all.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance. I'm just enjoying the fact that it's testing you guys.
Yeah, this is intense. I love it.
Mm.
Orellion. Next note. Yeah, let's find out what you're going to do. You saw the black-robed figure who seemed to bend down and run his hand over some of the elven citizens, and then stand up with his sword ablaze and rush back to the doorway to be attacked by some of the elven warriors. And they miss. This black-robed figure with a sword seems a little bit more reinvigorated, as does the other one, who just cut down one of the other elven warriors. What do you do?
Seeing as the one without the sword is the one that's the danger to my family, I am going to, and seeing that it hasn't quite noticed me yet, I'm going to attack with my short bow again.
Okay. You did also see this that other elven figure take a step towards, take a step backwards towards your family as well. So
okay, could I possibly use my scimitar on that one then? Instead of doing that, not just because it failed.
It might be. It's probably the same modifier anyway. So
okay. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So a 10 is gonna miss, unfortunately.
Could I? Are you guys gonna be okay if I use one of my inspiration on myself?
Go for it.
Okay. Seeing as there's not too much, like nothing's focusing their attacks on him at the moment, he kind of just focuses his attack a little bit more. And that's going to do... I'm going to use my scimitar, though, because if I hit, then I get, like, better stats.
Yeah.
Nice. Attack the one that's just coming through the door with the sword. With the sword.
Yeah, a 20 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Halberud, I want you to take 4 slashing damage.
Oh no! Wait. Oh Wait. No!
You deceived me.
What?
Same team, Kevin.
No, he's on the opposite team now. And I would just like to say that I was... love it! I don't know if this will make it worse or better. I was attacking the one with the sword of Narset.
Oh, okay. So
oh no!
It's 9 damage then to Aragorn.
Oh no!
Wait, so I get my 4 back?
Yeah.
I'm back in single digits, guys.
Oh dear.
Aragorn, one of the specters steps out unexpectedly and strikes you.
One of the specters.
That was a great turn.
You know, I was fully expecting Ray to finally get a great hit, and whatever was used to attack just went through this thing as like it's in a dream state. I was not expecting that.
Does it react at all to this hit?
How does Aragorn react to this hit?
So what hit me? One of these specters or
a specter?
I imagine like he lets out a cry of pain because he's not doing great. But he faces this specter that's hit him head on and readies his shards of Narsil. Like the next time he attacks, he's going for that specific specter.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is comparable, like if it equates exactly, but when it turns to face me, this is the first time anything except Iwiel has ever acknowledged me. And the fact that it's what is possibly a ring wraith, you see like a moment of like shock and horror come across his face as he realizes what exactly he's in for. But he then braces himself and just kind of snarls back at it.
You see two bright light, the shapes of eyes, bright white, the same sort of flame as the sword that's in his hand, turn and pierce you. The sword bursts with fire, almost reacting to the emotion of this thing being hit as it readies an attack. Halberd, your turn.
All right, Kevin. So mechanically, what would I have to do to get on top of this little pillar that we've been discussing the last couple of turns?
You would have to disengage, which is your action, or you could just step back
Mm-hmm.
and use some of your movement.
Okay. And then what would be the benefit of me being up here? Would Halberd be able to determine that?
I mean, you would probably gain some advantage, and they would be maybe at some disadvantage.
Okay, I like that.
You also see that there's only two specters here now attacking Aragorn,
Okay.
and there are four still here.
So there's an idea that was proposed, which I think makes sense if I was reading it correctly.
Yep.
If I take the dodge action, that gives enemies disadvantage on attacking me.
Correct.
Right, taking a defensive stance.
Yep.
So if I take the dodge action and then use my movement to get up on the pillar, the opportunity attacks would come at disadvantage.
Correct. It's only one opportunity attack. There won't be multiple. There'll only be one made.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
If you just moved back onto the pillar on this stone here, you would take one opportunity attack from these. That's it.
Okay.
And then they would probably be at disadvantage attacking you because of having the high ground, Anakin.
Right. I mean, can't underestimate that move. I think that's going to be the play. I'm going to take the dodge action and then move back up on the pillar. So he would kind of, he'd maybe take his sword and much more of a defensive stance, and then start moving back swiftly enough to draw in an attack. And then he'd kind of just like almost parkour, grab with one arm, and get on the pillar. And then he would like to maybe he'd probably let out some battle cry. Maybe ideally kind of drawing more attention onto him.
Okay, give me a intimidation check. It will be disadvantage because
fair enough.
You are tired, so how intimidating you're going to be. A 9. Orellion, you hear the spectre. You see and hear this black hooded robed figure, the other one, take another step backwards towards your family. So he's literally right in front of you, your mom, your sister, and he lets out this cry of anguish and pain, but it seems weak. Is there anything you would do just as a reaction to that?
I've I've got an idea. I've got a thing that I wanted to do, but I don't know how meta it would be. But
Like if it's an action, you'll have to wait for your turn.
oh yeah, yeah. No,
I
it's
just wanted to
action.
gauge your reaction to that.
He definitely still doesn't look very like he still looks pretty concerned with what's happening, even though this one looks like it's about to back off. It's a ring wraith. Those things are very powerful, and he has never seen one submit before, so he doesn't think that it's being genuine.
Okay, Aragorn.
Aragorn's gonna raise the shards of Narsil and strike back at this one specific specter that just stepped out and struck at him. 21 to hit.
That is a hit for 15. Leaving just one of these specters left in front of you.
He'll do the same thing. He'll dissipate that one and step, take a step to the side or take a step forward or whatever, and get in line with the second one in that group and take a swing again, trying to just decimate this group. 25 to hit. 13 damage.
Does it?
And then he will move forward and get a bit closer to Halbarad. Okay, 30. I probably get right up close to him. I don't imagine we can both climb on top of this pillar, but I imagine if we can be here close together, that potentially he can hold some of their attention, and I can try to knock some down as they're trying to swat him down off this pillar if necessary.
Yeah. Okay. The final elven specters, they step up. Going to take two at Halbarad, one at Aragorn. So first one will be at Aragorn, missing. Next one at disadvantage on Halbarad, 17 to miss, and then an 8 to also miss. So these specters, you've maybe got a handle on their attack moves now. Maybe both of you being bolstered by being close together again, and forming back up. You're able to work in tandem in blocking and deflecting any of these specters' blows. Orellion, you swiped last time at the creature, the thing, wounding it, and it turned towards you before cutting through some of the elven warriors next to you, and quicker than you could react, running up to stand alongside its partner just in front of your family members, with only one group of elven warriors fighting bravely against these two black-robed figures. What do you do?
The one that just shouted, I am going to, seeing that they're too far away to be hit by my scimitar and having just missed my arrow, I will use my elven sorcery to reach into the one that just shouted's mind using my vicious mockery.
Give me a wisdom save beforehand.
Okay. 23.
As you heard something is playing on your mind. There was something familiar to the scream, the shout, and you prepare the spell, and it brings you just for a second as you're standing there. You look, and you see Halberad instead of this spectre. Maybe this wraith, as you are calling it, moves his head, and for the first time, you can see into the hood, and you see the visage of Halberad. But then you can continue to make your take your turn.
He kind of has a moment where he's taken aback by this, but the first thing he thinks isn't what's actually happening, that maybe he's attacking his allies instead. His first thought is, what did these two have to do with the destruction of my home? And he's going to go ahead and attack with his vicious mockery.
Okay.
Dang, that's heartless after all this help we've been giving you.
It's a save for Halberad, I think.
Yeah.
A wisdom save for Halberad.
19's gonna hit. Rather, it's gonna be half damage. It hits no matter what.
Yeah.
Oh, good job. So that's only 1 damage. So very pitiful damage, but he does send this lace of insults. Don't focus your attacks on them. Focus on me. I'm the one that's here to defeat you. I will bring you down to your knees.
Halberad, give me another wisdom save.
Okay.
Okay. From somewhere from within this group of specters, you hear a voice, maybe multiple voices, ring in your head, and you take 2 psychic damage, so it's not halved. And exactly what Ray's just said, that's what you hear from somewhere within these specters here.
So I take 2 additional, or I take the full 2 damage from Orellion's attack?
Oh, it was half damage, wasn't it?
Yeah,
okay, you just take 1 damage. Some sort of annoyance that you've heard somewhere before. Somewhere you've heard this annoyance before. Maybe it's a tavern somewhere.
I mean, they're all elves at the end of the day.
Oh, how very dwarven of you.
Well, his best mate was Villy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got along real great. So it
For
ran
some
off
reason.
on us. It's that bagpipe, man. He had that bagpipe magic.
Is that what you're calling it nowadays?
It's a technical term we use in the industry.
Is there anything else you wish to do, Orellion?
Where would I will be like over here-ish?
Yeah, your family's like in these 4 squares here.
Okay, he's gonna get as close as he can in there and try to cut them off.
You can, like, maybe get to here, right? 5,
Is it okay
10,
to...
15, 20, 25, 30, you get to like here?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. Halberad, it is your turn. 4 warriors left. 4 specters left.
All right. So Halberad, after hearing these specters speak to him, or what he perceives to be that, he would respond and say, "If you request my blade, then it shall be granted."
Ooh,
and he takes
that was
attacks.
a good line, Nate.
I've been working on that the entire time. That's 22 and 24 to hit, 17 damage total.
17 damage.
So yeah, he's just like like just as if he's trying to like scythe grass, or hay. He's just swinging down at his feet, maybe even putting like a little bit of lean on it. Uh, and he would call to Aragorn. How are you doing, boy?
I will reply on my turn if you've got nothing else.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Just because I'll try to.
I'm more than happy for you to return something like that now.
Well, I was gonna tie it in with my action if that's kind of the last of his turn.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the swing cleaves through one of them into another, heavily damaging another one. Aragorn, your turn.
Halbrand already knows who Aragorn is. Everyone that's been traveling with him through this trilogy already knows who he is because he's revealed it before. But he's going to reveal himself to these elven specters, hold up the shards of Narsil, and he's going to speak some of the battle cries of the Dunedain, and some of the bolstering battle cries that not just the death to the enemies, but supporting the comrades, supporting the people next to him, and use the royalty revealed trait. And anyone within 10 feet will get a d6 of healing plus +1 for charisma. I don't know if you want Halbrand to roll that or if you want me to roll that.
I'm easy either way.
Nate, it's up to you. You want me to roll it or you want to roll it? All right, there you go. You're 4 HP.
Yeah, I rolled it. That's what I got. That basically undoes the damage Orellion gave me. So.
I mean, 4 HP for you is actually like 8 HP. So.
So what?
Will I be able to take? Since I have 2 attacks. Would I be able to take an attack still, or does that count for my action and cover both attacks?
What does it say that feature is? Is it a bonus action or an action?
Oh, it is a bonus action. Cool.
Yeah, 2 attacks.
Also, these specters need to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 16, or they're frightened of me for 1 minute.
They are immune to the frightened condition, unfortunately.
All right. Well, that's fine. I'll scare them away with my sword anyways. No, I won't. I'm going to use inspiration on that.
Nice.
So I'm not settling with that nat 1. So would you like to take the 23 or you want me to reroll?
Reroll, please.
All right. 12 to hit.
A 12 misses, unfortunately.
He's kind of caught up in what he's saying as he tries to take this swing. He's got the sword in the air, does his speech, and then goes to bring it down and just kind of cleave one of these in half. And they just, he's expecting them to be a bit frightened and a bit hesitant, but they're not. So it just kind of moves over out of the way. He'll make his second attack for a 25 to hit.
That is a hit.
All right, 14
another
damage.
One of these has actually, another one is felled by Aragorn this time. There's only 2 left in the group. As we skip through to the specters, you're going to make 1 attack each at each of you. Disadvantage on that one was on Aragorn, and disadvantage on Halbarad for 19 for 5 slashing damage on Halbarad.
Takes back that point of healing.
Yeah. Orellion, your turn. You've just seen that this one with the sword, he just raised it high in the air and started chanting some speech that you couldn't quite make out. It was just screeches and sounds, and the sword's light burst out, emboldening its fellow colleague, friend next to it, and then cut down another one of your elven warriors. But just give me a wisdom save again.
17.
You've seen this exact same shout and cry before, and even at this moment in time, you felt emboldened by it. You couldn't make out the words as such, but there was a feeling behind it that emboldened you even, and you
So
felt heartened by it.
do I know the is it Narsil again? What's it
Yeah.
called? Yeah, Narsil. Do I know Narsil enough to know that even if a wraith picked it up, it wouldn't be able to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. So the dawning realization of the fact that maybe this isn't exactly what he was expecting, still wary of this one, but this one can't be exactly what it was letting on to be, because there's no way a ring wraith and an agent of the enemy would be able to use Narsil to that extent. He doesn't quite know how to take this, but he is going to. Goodness gracious, why does it keep doing that? Okay. He will just put his head down against these wraiths for a moment and run in to try to grab Iriel and his younger self and get them to safety.
Okay. You run in and you embrace Iriel as the younger version of Iriel turns to the elder version of Iriel. And so as you've moved in and you embrace her, your mother disappears, you disappear. Well, the younger version of you disappears, shall we say. The scene around you changes and the tower empties, leaving just your two brothers on the floor bleeding out, many of the company dead, and your father lying down with your uncle standing over him. So the elven warriors have gone all of a sudden. Here, lying down on the floor, bleeding out from wounds, right, are your two brothers. The ones that Iriel comes and um, kind of mourns in these ruins. Elven warriors are strewn about, and it looks like these two were standing in a protective manner over your family against these elven warriors. And then over this way, you look and you see your father on the floor wounded and your uncle standing over him. What's your reaction?
Do I know my uncle?
Yeah.
He's alive.
Yeah.
I met him before.
Yeah. He lives in the city with you. He's your mother's.
Well, I mean,
he's
do
your
I
mother's brother.
do I know him in the current day?
In the current day?
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
No,
so
he died in Austin Hethel.
okay. So I probably have some vague recollection enough to piece together who these people are.
Yeah.
I'm going to run to my father's side and try to put myself between my uncle and his blade.
As you start moving over to him, um, your uncle, he raises his head, looking directly at you with a sad look on his face. He says to you, to your father, you're not sure, "Where is the ring, Talvin?" But when he says Talvin, it also says Orellion, both at the same time. He could have been mine. Should have been mine. So I can protect our family. Your father, looking up from the floor, stirs. It was you who opened the gates. You doomed us all. What did he promise you? Was it the ring? Would you be his slave? Your uncle. If it was to keep our family alive, so I would. Where is the ring? Talvin Orellion, as it echoes both together. As how you knew your uncle from those times, how you remembered your uncle from those times. His image shifts, and you see this image. Very much you can tell that this is still your uncle, but twisted, changed, should we say a wraith of his old self. Halberad, it's your turn.
Would I be able to? How bad are the specters looking right now? Like, what am I looking at?
There are just 2 specters left. You know, 1.5 hits sometimes. Yeah, you're about like 1.5 hits each time away from like defeating one of these specters.
Okay. And then I can pretty easily tell that that Aragorn is having a hard time there. Like he's in a bad way.
He's hurt. You're hurt, definitely.
Gotcha. I think what I gotta do, ideally, what Halberd would like to do is take an attack and try to maneuver himself kind of off to the side here somewhere.
You won't take an attack.
Weapon?
You won't take an attack for that.
Well, I'm saying he'd like to attack.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kind of move over this way and try to draw their attention away from Aragorn. So he's going to take his 2 attacks, if that's all right.
Yeah. You can, if you move around to here, you can gain a +1 to your attack for flanking.
Where?
Like the opposite. So, any of these 2 squares.
All right. Yeah. So he's gonna maneuver over this way.
Okay.
His first attack doesn't quite get there.
Was you reckless?
Realistically, no. He wasn't planning on being
reckless. Okay.
This does seem like a reckless move, but I'm gonna say no. He wasn't being reckless. But that is a 19 to hit with 13 damage.
Ooh, you almost downed 1 there.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a hit.
Good.
Yeah.
And then
one of them is almost destroyed.
Gotcha.
But there is still 2 left.
Yeah, and as he does that, he shouts some another Dunedain kind of war cry, and in a sense like mocking them in a way, saying that that out of all of them, they couldn't fell Halberd, and he will dissipate all of them, whatever's left of them.
Okay, Aragon.
I'll shout whatever war cry Halbrad just made back at him, and hopefully slice through one of these with my first attack. And then I will. There's still one left, right?
There is still one left.
16 for 14.
That destroys it, however.
Good, 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 good. He'll just cleave through the second one, a stroke one way and then a swing back the other way, taking them out, and just look to Halberd breathing heavily, bleeding profusely.
Yeah, you'd see Halbert's eyes are just like full like owl. Like they're just massive. His pupils are dilated. He's just feeling all the adrenaline of combat. And he looks to you and just kind of breathing heavily, maybe like blood coming out of his mouth, and he just kind of gives you like a nod. Like, yeah, fucking did that.
Right. Do we need to finish there and not finish the session?
Unless it's gonna take like maybe 5 more minutes, we probably should, because I do need to get switched over for the other game.
Yeah. Okay.
We got to make this at least 6 sessions, anyways, because there's six total Lord of the Rings movies right now, so we got to stay on brand.
Okay, so we are at the top of the round. Orellion.
Mhm.
What does Orellion do?
So, having seen this, tears are just pouring from his eyes as the shaking that he felt in the city starts to come back. And the fact that he always tried to impersonalize what happened in Orellion, but the fact that it was his uncle who brought these legions of destruction here in their name, it's making it a lot more personal. And although he wants to spend more than a little bit of time like reckoning in that fact, he realizes that he needs to do something here. So he is going to take a step forward and use Mind Spike on this thing that used to be his uncle. And he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw. Let me open up his character sheets. Wisdom saving throw. Oh, he got a 4.
Okay, that's probably. I don't know what my save is, but I doubt it could be a 4.
He definitely will. Like the minimum is 8. So
Yeah. Kevin, I don't quite remember how. I don't know how this works exactly, but it says at higher levels, when you cast a spell at a spell slot of 3rd or higher, the damage increases by 1d8. Since I don't have spell slots, could I just like expend another spell slot to make that damage a little better?
it would be at the highest possible spell slot available, much like a warlock would be.
Gotcha. So that is gonna be, see, that
yeah.
is.
So I think it goes off proficiency. So your proficiency is 3, so it's probably level 3.
Okay, so that's going to be.
Well,
it says is this is a. Never mind, I got it.
Don't worry about damage.
Okay, so he is just going to spike into this creature's mind. Do not speak as if you had the interest of our family at heart when you served the enemy that slaughtered them.
You see the image of your uncle. He calls out your name as you make this attack. Alien, no! And you see the mind spike take place, and it dissipates the image, knocking him back onto his ass as everything goes black for a second, as almost if you hit yourself with this mind spike. And you find yourself back outside the tower with Maglaw stirring, your sister Iwiel stirring, um, and yourself coming around. What do you do?
So he just kind of wakes with like a gasp to where you guys probably hear this after all of
Yep.
that has gone down. And he's just laying on his back for a moment, just panting heavily. And then he just grabs his head and starts screaming. And I imagine, much like, what was the high elf in the first movie? I forget her name. Galadriel?
Arwen or Galadriel?
Galadriel, yeah. That effect is ricocheting off the walls here. You try to cover your ears, but you realize that his screaming is in your head. It's something you can't quite get away from, as his body is just continually growing and shrinking in bright flashes of light.
What does the two of you do to react?
Uh, when Halberd hears the screaming, he would get like right back into combat mode. He would move over and turn the corner, sword ready, and he sees Aurelion, right?
Alien, yeah.
He sees Aurelion woken up. I think almost in a fit of rage that convenient he wakes up right after we got our ass kicked by specters and somehow won. I think he'd take his longsword and he would throw it at the ground near him, not close enough where it's like, he was trying to be cool, but just like kind of in his direction, and it stands into the dirt like a javelin hitting the ground.
William
And he
Wallace
would
from
walk.
Braveheart.
I've never seen it. But I hear it's a movie.
They will not take our lands.
And then he'd come over and he would grab Orellion kind of like by the collar and kind of give him a good shake and say, oh, what happened? Where have you been? Well, you've been in a trance. What's going on?
And the entire time you've been with Aurelian, he's always had this image in your head, just that stuck up elf. The elf that is what all elves are a stereotype of. If he's not like smirking, he's annoyed. That's the extent of the upset that he could have. And he looks at you, and it's like seeing a broken man. He is just sobbing. Like, there is no recollection of the anger that he used to hold towards you when you were just when you were just palling around with Billy when he was playing the bagpipes. Like, it's almost like this is a completely different elf than the one you've been traveling with.
And what's
I'm
Aragorn's
picturing it.
reaction as well?
Aragorn comes running out and goes a little wider than Halberd, and just in the anticipation that something's on the other side of where the others were laying passed out, just to prepare for flanking. And when he throws his sword and goes in on Orellion, he'll step a bit closer, just kind of observing what's happening. Like, he's very out of it himself, because he's very close to death at this point.
Yeah, I picture when Halberd kind of has Aurelion, he would. I feel like with his combat experience, he's seen a broken man before. I'm thinking of it kind of like when you see the pictures of soldiers before and after war. You know what I mean? And he'd probably notice that and just kind of like put you down, and he might even just like drop back and sit on his ass and just like take a breath and he would say, "Well, whatever happens, you need to get your wits about you. We don't know if anything else is going on around here, but we took a lot of damage keeping your ass safe."
Orellion kind of just like holds himself, like crosses his arm across his body, just trying to steady the shaking. And through chokes, he just says, he let them in. He let them in. He let them in. They were coming for the ring. He let them in for the ring.
Maglor, reacting to Iriel, gets up and cradles her, and you see her stroke Maglor's face and look to Orellion also, reaches over and puts a hand on your arm as you're cradling yourself, and she starts sobbing at this as Vili runs back into the tower, panting. Well, you fuckers, I got rid of them. I think I found the door. There's a vault. You should come see. Oh, fuck. What happened to you lot? And then that's where we will end.
Great session, guys. I really thought we were going down.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was kick ass.
I thought we were fixing to throw away all of Lord of the Rings canon.
Just put it in the trash can. Kevin is the new writer.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't have to pull any punches.
Mm-hmm.
Although there was one more encounter planned, but as you said, you know, if we had Kai and Tyler here, then we would have got through everything quicker. And
You say that like they would have helped. It's very possible that Kai would have just run off anyway.
Yeah.
At very least, there would have been more actions on our side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But well done, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. And if Nathan's got to go, then Nathan can shoot off or run off from us, and we can stay and discuss.
Yeah, I gotta dip out.
I gotta head out too.
I gotta reset real quick and see if I can get Discord up. But what's happening is we're finally starting back Death of Deities on Jarl of Goats channel. So I'm about to restart my computer and see if I can get Discord back up and hop over there. I think we're starting at 9 EST, so here in like 13 minutes. And I'll be playing my first bard and see how that goes.
You gonna be horny?
I'm gonna be more whispery. I'm a College of Whispers bard, not a College of Horns bard.
You stop that right now. You should be arrested for saying that.
Are you gonna like seduce the ghost?
Absolutely not.
No, you just gotta seduce Jarl.
Yeah.
That's how you
Hopefully I
get
can seduce my
VIP
dice
stack.
to give me good rolls.
Give you advice on how to seduce Jarl.
All right, y'all. Well, I'll see you over in Jarl of Goats.
See ya.
See you in another dimension.
Right.